Welcome to Loving Me Before I Love You with Tammy Nicole, the podcast dedicated to you loving and putting yourself first. Others have come first in your life for years, and you know it's time for that to change. You're about to be empowered to set healthy boundaries, confidently have hard conversations, unapologetically put yourself first, and live the peaceful life you deserve. Remember, self-love is essential, and loving yourself sets the stage for every other love in your life. So get ready to embrace self-love like never before with your host, Coach Tammy Nicole.
Hey, it is Tuesday, which means it is time for Loving Me Before I Love You. You guys know we have entered into the holidays. I am your Coach Tammy Nicole, your self-love empowerment coach, the one who is here to basically be your accountability partner during healing, the voice that reminds you to slow down, breathe, and give yourself just a little grace. Now let's get into it because, I know somebody is listening right now who feels me when I say the holidays are here, and while everybody else seems to be wrapping gifts, planning dinners, and taking matching pajama pictures, you might be sitting there wondering, what if I don't feel like celebrating? And I just wanted to take a pause and say, it's okay if you don't. It's okay if your heart doesn't match the holiday lights. It's okay if your tree isn't up. I know mine's isn't. And it's okay if your joy feels delayed this year. This season can be a beautiful season, but it can also bring up some deep emotions, things like loneliness, reflection, and even regret, especially when you start looking around at what everybody else seems to have, the families, the relationship, the traditions. And you start asking yourself, why am I not there yet? And thus for the individuals who have yet to actually establish family, who have been yearning to establish family. Now, there's some of us, the other of us, who may have gone through divorce or loss, and we're sitting around saying, oh man, this looks a little different. Last year, this time, I had family around. This year, I don't. So at that time, it may feel like I don't want to celebrate. The holidays have a different meaning, a different tone, a different feel. So in today's episode, it's all about giving yourself grace during the season, because grace is the bridge between where you are and where you're going. It's the permission slip to just be, not perfect, not put together, just present. So during segment 1, we're going to talk about the truth about the holidays, the emotions that actually come with it. And we're going to keep it what? Real. So again, if we're honest, holidays does bring about pleasure, and it sometimes brings about pressure. Not just pleasure of being with family, but pressure to show up, smile, participate, be merry, and ignore what's going on the inside. But truth is, this time of the year sometimes magnifies what already is there. If you're lonely, you feel it more. If you're grieving, it's a lot heavier. If you're single, that empty side of the bed feels colder. And for many of us, especially women who carry the world on our shoulders, the holiday becomes a mirror. It shows us everything we think we should have accomplished by now. So, you know what I'm talking about, right? You know that I thought I'd be married by now, I'd have my family settled, I thought I'd be more financially stable, or I thought I would feel happier, or I just simply thought I would have a man. Now, the others of us may be saying, I didn't think I would have let that relationship go in the middle of the summer, or I didn't think that we would be here because you got a divorce. However, all those things may have happened. It does not take away from who you are. But when reality doesn't match the expectation, shame will start to try to creep in. But what I want you to do is take that shame, look it straight in the eye and say, not this year, not this year. And not this year because I'm choosing grace over guilt. Not this year because I'm done beating myself up for being human. And not this year because I'm learning to meet myself where I am and still love that version of me. You cannot allow the guilt and shame to take you over. You must stand in your own power. And you must give yourself grace. So let's talk about my singles. So for the single ladies, we tend to simply desire to have someone there we can cater to, someone we can cook for, someone that we can buy gifts for, and just exchange this level of love that typically seems to really shines bright around the holidays. You see more engagements during the holiday. You see more couple pictures, and everybody's in matching pajamas. But because I know how it feels when the world seems to scream togetherness, and you're scrolling through social media, seeing couples baking cookies and doing cute matching pajama photo shoots, I'm here to tell you that maybe you're not just doing Netflix and chilling, and maybe you're not spending it baking cookies and having all the good time. You still are here. And guess what? You can do Netflix and chilling with yourself. It doesn't seem like it's going to be something that is super extravagant, but having a night where you can sit and watch a movie, your favorite movie, laugh and reflect about things is actually a good time. Or you can journal. And if you don't know anything about journaling, I have the perfect journal. You can go to my link in my bio, go to iamtammynicole.com, and you can get the Me, Myself, and Love journal. It is a self-love solo dating journal that opens up the doors for you to actually learn to date yourself. If you haven't copped your copy, you want to get it, you want to dive deep, and you want to get to know you. I promise you, you will never regret it. And the last thing you might want to try is making peace with being in quiet. Being in quiet is not a bad thing. It's actually something that I think everybody should do. Relationship or no relationship, being able to sit with yourself, by yourself, and enjoy the peace and quiet should be a requirement. Now, let me say this. You are not behind, nor are you in a space of, I haven't made it yet. You're on time. You are in your own divine season of becoming. And if you take that time of your singleness and decide to cultivate the thing that actually will make you, more prepared for the suitor that you are desiring, I promise you won't regret being by yourself. Because being single during the holidays doesn't mean you're unwanted or unworthy. It just means you're in a perfect space to focus on you. Discovering what peace feels like without chaos, and learning what joy feels like without depending on someone else to create it. To build traditions that feed your soul and not your status. Here's a little tip. Instead of focusing on what's missing, create small moments that bring you comfort. Light a candle. Buy yourself a gift. Cook your favorite meal. Play your favorite playlist, or take yourself on a date. Connection starts within, and when you connect deeply with yourself, you begin to attract people who are capable of meeting you at that level. I just want you to rest in your singleness. Don't be so quick and eager to get out of it. Whatever you have not accomplished or achieved in your singleness may be a direct sign that you're not ready. Now, remember, not being ready does not mean not being worthy of. I'm about to jump, and I'm going to jump into it for the ones who are doing the holidays without family around. I kind of resonate with actually both sections, to be honest. If I'm truly honest, I am single, and I do desire to be in a relationship. So holidays can be a little daunting, but I do have my kids. So I do get the opportunity to still engage in that level of engagement of matching PJs. But I will say, I still want my person. But when we jump over into the section of not having family around, I also resonate with this. I lost my dad 2 years ago, my mom over 20 years ago, and that's my nucleus of a family. I still have my sister, and though she still, has her 2 children, the family aspect of the holidays seems to have dwindled, and it just dwindles down to your immediate, my kids. And because I also don't have a significant other, it's more so just like, hey, this is what we have. But some of us have gone through loss because people have passed away, while others of us have gone through divorce where families have separated. So what used to be one cohesive family experience now is broken up, and you just kind of feel a little disconnected. So I want to talk to you about how you can still grant yourself grace even in that space. Because it doesn't matter if it's by choice, by distance, or loss, you still feel the separation. And that silence can be deafening. You start to wonder if you matter to anyone, if your presence makes a difference. But sis, listen, and fellas too. Family isn't always blood. Sometimes it's the people you've met along the way who love you for who you are. Sometimes it's the friends who check in on you. Sometimes it's the community that makes you feel seen. And sometimes the season of solitude is actually sacred. So it's the space where God begins to reveal to you who you are apart from everyone else. So instead of asking, why am I alone? Ask, what is the solitude trying to teach me? Because loneliness and solitude are not the same thing. Loneliness is emptiness. Solitude is empowerment. It's the quiet place where your next version is being born.
Wow, today's episode is a good one. I know you're enjoying it, and we'll get back to it shortly. Just wanted to take a quick break to let you know that Tammy would love for you to share any questions, comments, or topic ideas you have with her. All you have to do is send them to her in an email to podcast@iamtammynicole.com. Thank you, and without further ado, let's get back into today's show.
And this is why grace matters. So when we talk about grace, we're talking about giving yourself the space to be, simply to be. Because grace is actually that glue that holds everything together. It is the decision to release the idea that you should be somewhere else by now. It's the release of, I should have matching pajamas by now. It doesn't matter how much time it is taking you. You still have to give yourself grace in the space. Because grace says, I'm doing the best I can with what I have. And when you practice grace, you stop comparing, you stop competing, and you start accepting. There are 3 ways to give yourself grace this holiday season. 1, acknowledge your feelings without judgment. Stop forcing yourself to be happy. Feel what you feel. If sadness is there, embrace it. If it's joy or even confusion, it's all a part of being human. But recognizing the feeling, acknowledging it for what it is, and accepting it is key. Number 2, let's simplify your expectations. You don't have to do it all. If the decorations don't go up, that's fine. If the dinner isn't perfect, that's fine too. And if you need to rest instead of entertain, that is perfectly okay. Be able to speak to yourself gently. Check in on your inner voice. Replace the I should have with I am learning. Replace I failed with I grew, and replace I'm behind with I'm in progress. Grace is what turns pressure into peace. When we examine where we might be stuck, that also helps us move beyond the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. So now I want to challenge you just a little bit. because a part of the self-love process is something called accountability. If in this season you are triggered, the same pain that you've been having year after year, it keeps being triggered. I want you to ask yourself this: where am I stuck? Why can't I get beyond this particular space? What story am I telling myself that I continue to hold on to that no longer serves me? Am I repeating patterns that keep me in the same emotional space? Sometimes the reason we're not where we desire to be isn't because we're unworthy. It's because we haven't released what's blocking the blessing. Maybe it's fear of rejection. Maybe it's control. Maybe it's staying attached to people we've already should have let go. People that show us that they can't love us the way we need to love. I may even say that I would be a part of this little group, right? Sometimes you can get stuck in wanting what you want, even when what you want don't want you back. And a lot of times that happens because you just see a vision of that individual in your life in a certain space. And even when they're showing you that they don't per se want to be in your world, you keep convincing yourself that eventually they will change their mind. That is keeping you stuck. Staying stuck there will prevent you from experiencing what is to come. So if the very person that you desire is sitting on the other side of that door, because you refuse to unlock it and open it, you never get to allow them to walk in. And even though you've kept that door closed, locked and sealed, because what you have behind it on the other side is what you really want, and you think you're keeping that person captive, you think you're keeping them in a spot that you desire, but yet you're not being fulfilled within the relationship that you want with them, you're doing yourself a disservice. You should just open up the door. And if you don't gain anything else from this episode, I want you to open up the door. The best theory I've ever heard is let them. And let them simply means let people do what they want to do and don't try to convince them to do otherwise. If they don't want to be in your life, let them go. If they want to be there, let them stay. If they want to do multiple things that don't include you, let them do it. But see people for who they are and where they are, and allow them to just simply be, because you're going to let them. So my theory is leave the door open. Let those that come with great intention come and stay, and let those that don't want to be there leave and go on their way. But if you keep that door closed, and if you keep it locked, thinking you keeping the individual that you really want inside, the one that you deserve, the one that's made for you, will never be able to come in. So grace doesn't mean avoiding accountability. It simply means loving yourself enough to face the truth without shame. So when you see where you're stuck, you can start shifting it. And that shift, sis, is what creates room for your desires to finally find you. And in finding you, that's exactly what I want you to do. Focus on you. Because you are the gift. You are the prize. You are everything that you need. So I want to leave you with this thought. During this holiday, when you are wondering what gift you're going to give, what gift you're going to receive, remind yourself you are the gift. Not the presents, not the decorations, not the parties, but you. Your energy, your heart, your growth, your peace. That's what this season needs. So instead of chasing the holiday spirit, become it. Be the peace in your home, be the light in your heart, and be the love you've been waiting for. And when you start treating yourself like the gift, when you start actually acknowledging the essence of you, and watch how your life starts to wrap you in opportunities, blessings, and connections that match that same energy. So if you take anything away from today's episode, let it be this. You don't need to earn rest. You don't need to earn love. You don't need to perform for joy. All you need to do is give yourself grace. Because when you give yourself grace, you create space. And in that space, healing happens. Love flows and peace finally takes root. I want to thank you for tuning in to Loving Me Before I Love You. In this episode, if it spoke to you, I want you to share it with others. I want you to provide this light that says, though the holidays may be a struggling season, you are not behind, you are becoming. You are not forgotten. You are being refined. Until next time, I'm your girl, Coach Tammy Nicole, reminding you to love yourself first. Give yourself grace. And remember, love yourself so much, the love from others is a bonus. It's always the right time to love you.
That's a wrap on another episode of Loving Me Before I Love You. If you enjoyed today's episode, please take a second to show your support by subscribing and leaving a positive rating and review on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. Stay connected with Tammy. Make sure you're following her on Instagram and TikTok at Coach Tammy Nicole. If you like to work with Tammy or have any questions you'd like her to answer, please head over to www.iamtammynicole.com. Until next time, always remember to love yourself so much that the love from others is a bonus.